First Nations people. And they were on this continent long, long before Columbus ever came. And my tribe is called Creek, like a river, a creek. That's my tribe. And my name is Little Bear. And I'd like to teach you an Indian word, if you'd like to learn one. I'll teach you how to say hello. Inksjink. Inksjink. The very first Thanksgiving in 1620. Would you mind? Am I not loud enough?
No.
Put that up.
David.
We're going to take this away and then we're going to... Okay. I'll try to talk a little bit louder. Can you hear me back there? Can you hear me? Maybe I'll come out here and talk. Will that work? Okay. In 1620, there was a tribe of Indians called the Wampanoag. That's a long word. And they moved to a state called Massachusetts. Have you ever heard of Massachusetts? Anybody here from Massachusetts? That's on the East Coast. Well, you know who else moved there that had never been there on this continent before was the Pilgrims. Do you know who the Pilgrims were? Have you heard of the Pilgrims? Well, the Pilgrims, they went to Massachusetts also. Ooh, that was loud. Is it working? Oh, I have to turn it on. And oh, now I have to whisper.
Voices from...
So, the Pilgrims, I sound different. So, the Pilgrims, they moved to Massachusetts also. And you know, they did not know how to live there. They didn't know how to plant a garden. They didn't know how to hunt any animals. So they didn't know how they were going to eat. And the tribe that lived there said, let me teach you. And the Wampanoags taught them how to plant and how to hunt. And they had their very first Thanksgiving when they harvest all their plants in the year 1621. That was a long time ago. What year is it now? Anybody know what year this is? What year is this? 2014. And this was in 1621. That was a long time ago. You know what they planted? Anybody know what they would plant? What do you think they would plant? A tree? Oh, they planted trees. What do you think they could plant that they could eat? Carrots. They could plant carrots. What do you think they could plant? Fruit? Oh, all kinds of fruit. I love fruit. What do you think they would plant? Radishes. Do you know, I brought something that they would harvest when they had their first Thanksgiving. Anybody know what that is? It's not a radish. It's not a tomato. What'd you say? You said it? Well, say it again. Potatoes. This is potatoes. And this is out of my garden. This is how potatoes grow. When you go to the store and you buy potatoes, they came off of one of these plants that grew in the ground. The potatoes grow under the ground. Would you have potatoes for Thanksgiving? Yes, and so did the Indians and the Pilgrims. Anybody know what this is? Okay. Oh, I did drop it, huh? It starts with the letter O. Onion. Yes, onion. No, it doesn't. Do you know it doesn't have the big ball on the end? These are called green onions. And if you get a chance to come up here, you can smell them. They smell really good. Do you know what the Pilgrims had for their Thanksgiving dinner? They didn't have any turkeys like we have. They didn't have pumpkin pie. They didn't have any pumpkin pies. They didn't have any banana pie. No apple pie. Do you know what they had for their meat? They had deer. Oh, you wouldn't eat deer? They had 3. Yes, they eat corn. Yes. Do you know all the different Indian tribes? There were so many of them. And when you get a chance, these are all different Indian tribes and how they dressed. And whenever they would hunt for their food, anybody know what this is? What is this? It's a bow and arrow. Yes. This is what they used to hunt their deer. After they hunted their deer, how do you think they got the meat off? They didn't have any knives. We all have knives to carve our turkey. What do you think they used? What did the Indians use to get the meat? Their hands? They could pull it off. Sure, they could rip it off. What do you think? What do you think they would use? Hot water? Well, that might be able to take the skin off. Let me see what I have in my bag. This is called a medicine bag. And this is made of a bear. And it still has the bear's claws and the bear's fur. They carried all their important things in their medicine bag and in their pouch. Well, when they would hunt and they'd have to take the skin off, they would use a knife that they would make. This is a knife. I don't know if you all can see. There's a little indentation right there. Can you see? I'll show you. Sorry, you caused a ruckus.
Guys, please sit on your bottoms now. In the front,
Okay.
down.
There is a little indentation. I'll show you right there. That's where, this is where they would put their thumb. They put their thumb right there, and they would cut the meat. This is what they used for a knife. They'd cut the meat. They would cut the skin. They would cut the meat in slices. Do you know what they would do with the meat sometimes? Have you ever heard of beef jerky? Let's see what I have in my other bag. They would eat berries. They had that for Thanksgiving. They had deer. They had berries. Let's see what else I have. Anybody know what this is? No? No? I got this out of my garden too. Anybody know what that is? It's okra. Ew! Not okra. That's how okra grows. It grows above the ground, and it's a vegetable. You don't like okra? This is called basil. It smells so good. This is a spice. They grew spice. And you can put spice on your food. Now, the meat. When they would cut the deer, they would make jerky. Yes, they would dry their meat. Jerky's good. After Thanksgiving dinner, after they had dinner, then what do you think they would do? Do you think they would play games? Do you think they would tell stories? Do you know how long their Thanksgiving lasted? 3 days. How long does your Thanksgiving last? 1 day. Yes. They had a big celebration. They made things. This is a necklace. You know what those claws are? Bear. This is a bear necklace. You don't like bear claws? This is made of beads. Isn't that beautiful? They did a lot of work on necklaces. Do you know what that is? This is called, have you ever heard of a peace pipe? Yes. After dinner, they would pass it around and they would tell stories and they would smoke from the peace pipe. And everybody was happy. This is sage. The sage, they burned, they light the end, and it smells really good, like a candle. When you light a candle, they would light a sage. And it would make everything smell really good. Do you know that they pardon a turkey every year? Do you know who pardoned the first turkey? No. Do you know what president pardoned the first turkey? No. Yes. Abraham Lincoln? No, but that's a good guess. Who do you think? Who? So I don't know that president. No. Oh, George Washington. Did someone say George Washington? Wow. Well, you know, George Washington had something to do with Thanksgiving, but it wasn't pardoning a turkey. George Washington, do you know what he did? Was he made it an official holiday. President Bush Sr., he pardoned a turkey. President Clinton, after him, pardoned a turkey. President Bush Jr. pardoned a turkey. Who's the president now?
George Washington.
Who's our president now?
George Washington.
No. Barack Obama. President Obama. Do you think he'll pardon a turkey this year? Yes, I think so. I think he'll pardon a turkey. Does anybody have any questions? You can ask. I'm sorry. Why do they need to cut what? The first one? Cut the first what? Turkey? Why do they need to cut the first turkey? I don't get it. Well, you have to cut the turkey to eat it. I know that. It's kind of hard to eat it whole. Yes? Grandpa did? Your grandpa went hunting and he killed a deer and he ate it. That's wonderful. That's what the Indians did. A lot of people do that. A lot of people go hunting. I can't hear you, sweetheart. Wait, you guys have to be quiet. I can't hear her question. Shh, everybody be quiet. You have to be nice so other people can talk. I still can't hear you. I am. I am a Native American, and my people, my tribe, live in Oklahoma, in Indian Territory. She did. A lot of people eat deer. Have you ever heard of venison? Venison. That's deer. When you have venison, you're eating deer.
Listen up, boys and girls.
Did you forget? Oh, the question.
She's going to ask what your dress is made out of.
My dress is made out of cow hide. Cow. This is made out of cow. I made this myself. Out of cow hide, the cow skin. That's the skin. The skin on the cow. I took the skin off. Well, I didn't. But the skin was used to make this dress. I made it with the cow skin. I did it. I made this dress all by myself. But I did not skin the cow.
Who did?
I don't know who did it. But I just got the skin and I made the dress.
There's a fair.
I'm sorry.
Who's your family?
My family, I have family here and I have family in Oklahoma. And they still live in Indian Territory. Seaweed? What? Seaweed? Do you know? There is a lot of things made with seaweed. You could use seaweed.
What?
I believe you could make some strong strain with seaweed.
One time my dad and mom ate a fish.
Yes, a lot of people eat fish. The Indians did too. They went fishing and they caught fish. Do you know at the end of an arrow, you know the bow and arrow? What's at the end of the arrow? Anybody know? Let me see what I have in my bag. A string? No. He didn't have a string. They didn't have a bow. They had an arrow. You're right, they had an arrow. Oh, I found a little doll. They made little dolls to play with. Teachers, did you want them to be able to come up and look at?
We'll call on Rose. Boys and girls, stop. If you want to see, you're going to show me that you want to see.
So that means we need to have our friends.
Hands on your lap, sitting like ladies and gentlemen, showing our speaker, Little Bear, that we appreciate her coming in and talking to us and sharing about our culture. So I will be calling. If any of you guys need to go anywhere, you tell me. I'll pick this side. You want to start with this side?
Yeah, so start on your side and we'll move down here. Go away.
I was just going to call on Rose. It's okay. Rose, right here. No.